Right now, someone you loved who passed away is making a decision that will change everything. They're choosing their next family, their next life. And yes, they're choosing yours too. I know that sounds impossible. But what if I told you that death isn't the end of the story? What if it's actually the moment when your soul gets to write the next chapter? And what if everything you think you know about why you were born into your specific family, in your exact circumstances, is completely backwards? You're about to discover something that will shake you to your core. The truth about how souls select their parents, how they choose their soulmates, and why you ended up exactly where you are right now. If this resonates with you, hit that like button, because what you're about to learn changes everything. Death isn't what you think it is. When someone takes their last breath, they don't just disappear into nothingness. They wake up. Like someone shaking you awake from the deepest dream you've ever had, except the dream was this life, and the awakening is more real than anything you've ever experienced. Here's what actually happens in those first moments after death. Your loved one finds themselves in what I call the cosmic waiting room. Time doesn't exist here, neither does fear, or pain, or that crushing weight of everyday worries that we carry around like invisible chains. But here's the thing that will blow your mind. Not every soul handles this transition the same way. Some souls arrive on the other side completely lost. They're still carrying grudges from their earthly life. Still angry about things that happened decades ago. Still attached to material possessions they can't even touch anymore. These souls get stuck. They create their own spiritual fog where they wander around confused, not understanding what they're supposed to do next. It's like waking up in a foreign country where you don't speak the language and you've lost your passport. That's why there's something called the life review. And this is where it gets really intense. Imagine sitting in a movie theater, but instead of watching a random film, you're watching every moment of your life. Every single thought you had, every word you spoke, every action you took. But here's the kicker, you don't just see it. You feel it. You experience the impact of every choice you made on every person you encountered. When you were mean to that cashier who was having a bad day, you feel exactly what they felt. When you helped that stranger who was struggling, you experience their relief and gratitude as if it were your own. When you said something hurtful to your spouse in anger, you feel their pain as deeply as they did. This isn't judgment. There's no cosmic jury pointing fingers at you. This is pure understanding. Your soul sees itself with complete clarity for the first time. It understands its strengths, its weaknesses, its patterns, its potential. And then comes the most important question of all. What do I need to learn next? Now here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. You know how people always say they want their next life to be perfect? No problems, no pain, just happiness and success. Well, that's not how evolved souls think. They don't choose the easy path. They choose the path that will teach them the most. Let me share something that might shock you. The souls who choose the most difficult lives are often the most advanced souls. They're not being punished. They're accelerating their growth. They're choosing to learn in one lifetime what might take others several lifetimes to understand. Think about this for a moment. If you wanted to develop incredible physical strength, would you choose to lift feather pillows or heavy weights? The souls who choose challenging lives are choosing the heavy weights of spiritual development. Make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell, because we're just getting started with revelations that will completely transform how you see your life. So how does a soul actually choose its next parents? This is probably the most mind-blowing part of this entire process. Before reincarnating, your soul has access to what I call the cosmic database. It can see the energy patterns of potential parents, their tendencies, their karma, their capacity for love, their challenges, their growth potential. Your soul doesn't just randomly get assigned to a family. It studies multiple options like you might study different colleges before choosing where to apply. It looks at what each set of parents can offer in terms of learning opportunities. Sometimes your soul chooses parents who will love you unconditionally because it needs to learn about trust and self-worth. Other times, it chooses parents who will challenge you because it needs to develop resilience and independence. And yes, sometimes it chooses parents who will cause pain because it needs to learn about forgiveness and breaking generational cycles. Here's what's really incredible. Many souls make agreements with each other before they reincarnate. They say, okay, in this next life, you'll be my mother and I'll be your challenging child who teaches you patience. Then in the life after that, we'll switch roles. These are called soul contracts, sacred agreements between souls who love each other so much that they're willing to play difficult roles to help each other grow. Your difficult parent might actually be a soul who loves you so deeply that they agreed to be the bad guy in this lifetime so you could learn strength. Your absent father might be a soul who knew that his absence would force you to develop your own inner power. Your overprotective mother might be a soul who agreed to show you what unconditional love looks like. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior. It doesn't mean you should tolerate abuse. But it does mean that there's a deeper spiritual purpose behind why you were born into your specific family circumstances. Comment below and tell me, when you think about your family dynamics this way, what patterns do you see? What might your soul have been trying to learn? Now let's talk about something that affects every single person watching this video. Why were you born in this specific country, at this exact time in history? Because I promise you, that wasn't random either. Your soul chose the cultural, geographical, and historical context of your birth with the same precision that an artist chooses their canvas and paints. Every detail matters. The language you learned first shapes how you think. The cultural values you absorbed influence your worldview. The historical events you've witnessed are part of your learning curriculum. If you were born in a time of war, your soul chose to learn about courage, resilience, and the preciousness of peace. If you were born in a time of technological revolution, your soul chose to learn about adaptation and innovation. If you were born in a culture that emphasizes community, your soul chose to learn about interconnectedness. If you were born in a culture that emphasizes individualism, your soul chose to learn about personal responsibility and self-reliance. The challenges of your generation are not accidents. They're the classroom your soul enrolled in. Climate change, political division, economic uncertainty, social media, artificial intelligence. All of these are the subjects your soul signed up to study. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a student who chose this particular curriculum because it offers exactly what your soul needs to grow. But here's the question that keeps people up at night. If my soul planned all of this, do I really have free will? Am I just following a script that was written before I was born? This is where it gets really beautiful. Your soul's plan is like a GPS navigation system. It knows the destination and it suggests the best route, but you're still the one driving the car. You can take detours. You can stop for snacks. You can even choose a completely different route. The GPS will simply recalculate and find a new path to get you where you're going. Free will isn't just allowed in this system, it's essential. Every choice you make with consciousness and love realigns you with your soul's highest purpose. Every choice you make from fear or unconsciousness creates a detour that will eventually lead you back to your path, usually with some valuable lessons learned along the way. The beautiful thing is that you can't actually fail at this. There's no such thing as a wasted life or a wrong choice. Every experience, even the ones that feel like mistakes, becomes raw material for your soul's evolution. This is why some of the most spiritually advanced people you'll ever meet have been through the most difficult experiences. Their souls knew that those challenges would accelerate their growth in ways that an easy life never could. Now, let's talk about the people who make your heart skip a beat. The ones who feel familiar before you even know their name. The ones who challenge you, inspire you, and sometimes completely turn your world upside down. These are your soulmates and soul companions. And the process of how souls find each other again is absolutely magical. Before reincarnating, souls who have deep connections make appointments to meet again. They literally schedule reunions. I'll be born in 1985 in California. You come find me when you're ready. They plant recognition signals in each other's energy fields so they'll know each other when they meet. That's why you sometimes meet someone and feel like you've known them forever. That's why certain people can look into your eyes and see straight into your soul. That's why some relationships feel destined from the very first moment. But here's what most people get wrong about soulmates. They think soulmate relationships should be easy. They think meeting your soulmate means all your problems are solved. That's not how it works at all. Soulmates often come into your life to shake things up. They're not here to make you comfortable. They're here to make you grow. They'll challenge your beliefs, push your boundaries, and force you to become the person your soul knows you can be. Some soulmates are romantic partners who stay with you for life. Others are friends who appear at crucial moments to guide you through transitions. Some are family members who teach you about unconditional love. And some are people who hurt you so deeply that you're forced to discover your own strength and wisdom. The key is recognizing these connections when they appear. When you meet someone and there's an instant recognition, a feeling of, "Where have you been all my life?" or even an inexplicable discomfort that makes you want to run away, pay attention. Your soul is trying to tell you something important. Drop a heart in the comments if you've ever had one of these soul recognition moments. I'd love to hear your stories. There's also something most people don't know about. You have an entire team of spiritual guides who have been with you since before you were born. These are highly evolved souls who volunteered to help you navigate your earthly journey. Your guides don't control your life or make decisions for you. They respect your free will completely. But they're constantly sending you signs, intuitions, and synchronicities to help you stay aligned with your soul's purpose. That sudden gut feeling that tells you not to take a certain route home, that's often your guides protecting you from something. That book that falls off the shelf right when you need its message, that's your guides communicating with you. That person who says exactly what you need to hear at exactly the right moment. Your guides often work through other people to deliver their messages. The more you acknowledge and thank your guides, the stronger your connection becomes. They're not religious figures or angels with wings. They're simply souls who have completed their earthly journeys and chosen to help others on their path. Learning to recognize their guidance is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. They're always there, always loving you, always cheering you on from the spiritual realm. Now let's address the elephant in the room: karma. Most people think karma is about punishment. They think if you do something bad, karma will come back to bite you. But that's a completely limited understanding of how karma actually works. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect. Every action creates energy, and that energy eventually returns to you as an opportunity for learning and balance. It's not punishment, it's education. If you were cruel to someone in a past life, you might experience cruelty in this life, not because the universe is punishing you, but because your soul needs to understand what cruelty feels like from the receiving end. This develops empathy and compassion. If you were generous and kind in a past life, you might experience generosity and kindness in this life, not as a reward, but as confirmation that love creates more love. But here's the most important thing to understand about karma. You can change it at any moment. Every choice you make with love and consciousness creates positive karma. Every act of forgiveness dissolves negative karma. Every moment of compassion rewrites your karmic script. You are not doomed to repeat negative patterns forever. You have the power to break karmic cycles and create a completely different reality for yourself and your loved ones. This is especially important when we talk about generational trauma and patterns that run in families. Sometimes souls choose to incarnate into family lines, specifically to break those patterns. They volunteer to be the one who says, "This stops with me." Maybe you're that soul. Maybe you chose your specific family because you have the strength to heal wounds that have been passed down for generations. Maybe your challenges aren't punishments but opportunities to become the healer your family line has been waiting for. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being a conscious co-creator of your destiny. Let me tell you about the souls who choose the hardest paths. These are the true spiritual warriors. They're the ones who volunteer for the most difficult missions because they know that great challenges create great growth. The child born with a disability who teaches everyone around them about unconditional love. The person who faces terminal illness and uses their experience to help others appreciate life. The individual who grows up in poverty and uses their experience to develop compassion and determination. These souls look at their life plan before incarnating and they say, "Yes, I'll take the difficult path because I know it will help me grow faster and serve others more powerfully." They're not victims. They're volunteers. They're some of the most advanced souls on the planet, and they deserve our deepest respect and admiration. If you're facing significant challenges in your life right now, consider this possibility. What if your soul chose these challenges because it knew you were strong enough to handle them? What if your difficulties are actually signs of your soul's confidence in your abilities? This doesn't mean you should passively accept harmful situations. It means you should face your challenges with the knowledge that you have everything within you to overcome them and grow from them. Your soul didn't choose a path that was too difficult for you. It chose a path that would help you discover just how powerful you really are. So why are you here? What's your purpose in this lifetime? These aren't questions you need to figure out through endless soul searching. The answers are already written in your soul's blueprint. You just need to remember how to read them. Your purpose is encoded in your natural talents, your deepest passions, and yes, even your greatest wounds. The things that come easily to you are gifts your soul developed over many lifetimes. The things you're passionate about are clues to your mission. The things that have hurt you most are often the areas where you're meant to help others heal. Your soul didn't just randomly choose talents and interests. Every skill you have, every subject that fascinates you, every cause that stirs your heart, these are all part of your spiritual curriculum. The writer's soul chose to learn about communication and touching hearts through words. The teacher's soul chose to learn about guiding others' growth. The healer's soul chose to learn about transformation and helping others find wholeness. The artist's soul chose to learn about beauty and inspiring others through creativity. But here's what's really incredible. Your purpose isn't just about what you do for work. It's about who you become through living consciously. Every interaction you have, every choice you make, every moment of kindness or courage, all of this is part of fulfilling your soul's purpose. You don't have to become famous or change the world in dramatic ways to fulfill your purpose. Sometimes the most important thing you can do is simply be a light in someone else's darkness. Sometimes your purpose is to break a family pattern, forgive an old wound, or choose love in a moment when fear would be easier. Your soul's purpose is always about love. How to give it more freely, how to receive it more openly, how to be it more completely. Everything else is just the specific way your soul has chosen to learn and express love in this lifetime. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Your soul might be the messenger they've been waiting for. As we reach the end of our time together, I want you to understand something profound. Right now, in this moment, you are exactly where your soul planned for you to be. Even if life feels messy or uncertain, even if you feel lost or behind, You are perfectly on track. Your soul doesn't measure success the way the world does. It doesn't care about your bank account or your social media followers, or whether you've achieved all your goals by a certain age. Your soul cares about growth, love, wisdom, and service. And by those measures, every moment you've lived has been valuable. Every mistake you've made taught you something important. Every relationship that ended prepared you for deeper love. Every challenge you've faced developed strength you didn't know you had. Every joy you've experienced expanded your capacity for happiness. You are not behind schedule. You are not doing life wrong. You are not missing out on your purpose. You are a magnificent soul having a perfectly imperfect human experience, and that's exactly as it should be. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Your soul doesn't make mistakes. You are here for a reason, you have gifts that matter, and your life has meaning beyond anything you can imagine. Trust your journey, honor your path, love your story, even the difficult chapters. They're all part of the masterpiece your soul is creating. And remember, even when you feel alone, you're surrounded by love from the spiritual realm. Your guides are cheering you on. Your departed loved ones are watching over you. Other souls are rooting for your success. You are so much more supported than you realize. The next time you doubt yourself or feel lost, remember this conversation. Remember that your soul chose to be here, chose your circumstances, chose your challenges and your gifts. Trust that wisdom. Trust that love. Trust that you have everything you need to fulfill your purpose and find your way home to who you really are. Your journey is sacred. Your life is meaningful, your soul is eternal, and your story is just beginning. If this message touched your heart, make sure to subscribe and share it with others who need to hear it. Together, we're helping souls remember who they really are and why they chose to be here. That's the most important work any of us can do. Until next time, remember, you are loved, you are guided, and you are exactly where you need to be.